Hello and welcome to a new little segment of my channel. Today I would like to show how to fix or upgrade your current miniatures. This is one of mine. This is the Decimator. I don't remember the full designation, but it's from the X-Wing game, and this is a pretty neat looking ship. The problem with mine is I was doing an X-Wing tournament a while back, and I'm not sure if the camera can pick this up, but right here, see this little tiny thing at the bottom, little white peg, which allows it to fit into the base. There's a crack in that peg, and it made it just loose enough to where another peg that would fit it into the base doesn't snugly fit. Now that's a problem, and it's kept me from using the ship in any other builds. I used it in one episode, and that's what brought it to my attention again that, hey, I never fixed this. Some people do. What some people do is they take the liberty of modifying their ships, and I realized that one of the modifications that people do actually would fix my Decimator. So I wanted to do a video on me upgrading my Decimator, and what that modification is I'm going to replace that peg with a magnet, and then apply a magnet to the other peg to affix my ship, essentially with a magnet. It'll fix my problem because it'll finally be able to connect, and also it'll allow me to very easily lift up the ship from the mounting base whenever I want. It's a lot easier, and that would help out in a game a lot, in a tournament, if I needed more room, because let's face it, this is a big ship, and the base is only going to go to about here, so I mean, or about there, so I mean this much is all off the front of the base. It's a big ship. It's a really big ship, even for its large class. So it's a very long ship, rather. So anyway, I'm gonna film the different steps, and this is Crimson Sith on upgrading your Decimator. Now, as far as supplies go, starting off with the basics, of course you need the Decimator. You are going to require a series of these little pegs. I like to use about 2. Pretty standard. You need a base, kind of the standard base that comes with the model. Now you're going to need pliers or some sort of gripping device that you can use to yank out the remaining bit of the stand that is attached to the ship. Yeah, sorry, you have to remove it, but I mean, it's kind of a permanent mod. In my case, it's broken, so I don't really care. Next step is the magnets. Now, I've heard multiple stories about where you can pick these up. I went all over the place. I heard some people can get them at Hobby Lobby. I went to the one by me. They didn't have small enough magnets. So I had to go to my local fantasy shop and pick this up. This particular type is, let me get the focus on here. The size I use is, this is the exact size of the base, or the exact size of the peg, rather, that you're going to be putting them on. Because you're going to be putting one of these on the peg and one of these on the ship. But anyway, this is the size you want to get. I have a package of, I think there's 25 in there. So it's going to be, it's a little more than I need. But I figured if this goes well, I might upgrade some of my other ships. And since this is the right size for the peg, I might be able to just go ahead and use this for all my other ships. Anyway, so we're going to see how this goes. This package was a little pricey, as you can see. It was like 16 bucks, and then after tax, I think it was just about $18. So a little pricey, but it's a lot cheaper than buying a new ship. So anyway, we go over to the glue. You need some kind of super glue. I just bought a cheap brand because I didn't feel like spending too much money. Let's see if this works. I figured pretty much any super glue would be good. This is for I picked this up at Hobby Lobby when I was looking for the magnets. It's actually made for crafting and models, so I figured it'd be a good glue. Some people use Gorilla Glue. It really doesn't matter as long as it works. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead to the first step. Now this is the step that I'm perhaps most worried about, and this is, and I'm quite away from my camera now. That was weird. I'm pretty far away, so it's going to be hard for me to see when I'm recording, but this is the part where we remove the peg. Now, I'm pretty worried about breaking my model here, but you just want to grip on. I was hoping a turning motion would loosen it a little better than just yanking it straight out. So we're going to try. Looks like it's turning. It's also cracking, because remember, mine's already broken. But yeah, it's turning. Good, and there it goes. So yep. Try that turning motion. I used mine as a test dummy for you guys. But yeah, just we grip on possibly with the side and just kind of turn it. That's why I went ahead with these and not just regular pliers. I just grabbed on and wrenched it and turned, and it just slowly cracked it until it came off. And now we got this nice little, I don't know if you can see, this nice little dot there where the remnants of the plastic are. Now you can sand this down probably a little bit. There's a little bit of a bump. What I'm going to do is leave it, though. It's still pretty flush. There's some other little details in the bottom of the ship that will make it flush, and I'm going to use it as, if you're familiar with doing anything with wood or anything, or any kind of metalwork, if there's a little more texture to an object, I forgot the correct term, but if there's any more texture to the object, the glue will affix a little better than it would to a flat surface. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that. Next step is going to be gluing on the magnets. Missed a step here. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I went ahead and removed the top of the peg, top of one segment of the peg. So there's two pegs I had there, and here's a side-by-side comparison. There's a little nip, or node at the top that allows it to fit into the whoa. Dropped it. Allows it to fit into the peg or the next segment above it, like this. But on this thing, since it's no longer going to have something to fit into, you have to remove it. I did it the same way that I did with the Decimator. I just grabbed on, twisted, came right off. Actually flew off. It popped right off. So I'm going to sand this down a little bit. Now you can use sandpaper, but the danger of using a small pointy object against sandpaper is it's going to damage the sandpaper if you push too hard. If you push hard into it and you're scraping back and forth or whatever against sandpaper, you're going to be damaging the integrity of the paper. The sand kind of gets out of line and you may ruin the bit of paper. So to kind of go low tech here, I'm going to rub this against some concrete. I mean, I have concrete right outside my house. I'm just going to be... As predicted, that only took a few seconds, and I don't know if the camera will be able to pick up the difference, but it's much flatter now. It took no time at all. I wore down the top of the peg a little bit, not much, just to get a little more grip with the glue. So anyway, now I'm going to apply the glue and stick the magnets on top. Shouldn't take too much, just about a drop or two. A little extra couldn't hurt until it goes over the edge a little bit. Alright, so I gotta cover my butt here a little bit. The glue that I used in my in this video, the glue I'm going to use in this video is the E6000. Now there's a little warning label in the back I just want to read to people, and just a reminder to any younger viewers I might have. You want to, I was kind of assuming that everyone was going to be, kind of older, over the age of 18. If you're not over the age of 18, please get a parents. The glue you're going to be dealing with is industrial grade, at least this type is industrial grade glue adhesive, and it has a nice little warning label that even kind of scares me a little bit. Warning, possible cancer agent. Exposure may result in nausea, headache, confusion, or instability. May be harmful by breathing vapors. Exposure may cause kidney damage. So yeah, seek out a parent if you're not over the age of 18. There's some serious glue we're dealing with, and you want to minimize your exposure as much as possible. You want to apply it. Notice I took it into a different room. You want to bring it into a room with a lot of moving air. You don't want to trap it in there with you, because like the warning label suggests, you don't want to breathe that in. It's not fun stuff. I mean, I had to puncture the cap there off camera to get it to open, and it kind of popped a little bit. And it's some dangerous stuff. I mean, there's a reason why they keep it under pressure in the bottle. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up. If not over the age of 18, please have parental guidance, or just don't try it. Anyway, let's continue. Now, I went ahead and changed my mind on whether or not I was going to record this step, because this is a pretty integral step. There's something I forgot to mention that is highly important before you do this, and that is that you get the right sides of the magnets glued. So, for instance, I pulled off 2 magnets right here. 2 magnets. Now, you have to, when you separate these magnets, there's something important you have to note. When you pull them apart, make sure you know which 2 halves are attracted to one another. So what I'm going to do, so I remember, I just pulled these apart. The 2 that were touching, I'm going to put facing up. So I'm going to set down the half that was away. And on this one, I'm going to set down the half that was away from that one. And put them apart so I don't have to worry about it right now. What I'm going to do first is I have the peg here, and I'm going to apply the glue to this part of the peg, and I was just going to show how much I'm going to put on there. Now, I haven't done this before myself, so I'll trial and error with you guys. Apparently I haven't opened the glue all the way yet, so bear with me. Okay. Oh, made a little popping sound when I opened it. Why does glue stink? Is that a requirement? Okay, so I just got... Alright, what I did there... It's running everywhere. Hold on a moment. Super glue is such a mess. What I did is I just poked the peg into the... Hurry up. Sorry, I gotta hurry up and get this on here. I poked the peg into the end of the... Can't talk and do this. I poked the end of the stick directly into the bottle. I just went in, pulled out, and then there was all this extra string. I had a piece of paper. I just kind of, dabbled it into it. I have it down here off camera, but yeah. So I bought the bottle that had like pretty much the exact same size as this thing. I squeezed it up so it bubbled up a little bit on the end of the bottle, and then just shoved into the bubble with this. And this is about how much glue I have on there. It's a little extra, see it kind of bubbles over the side a little bit. That's fine. I don't care about that. I mean, if you were going for aesthetics, I'm sure you can get less, or just sand it down later or whatnot. I don't really care myself. I'm going to go ahead, since I don't want to wait for 2 different... I forgot to bring the base. Get the base in here and set this in. I don't want it to fall over. that's another reason why I had the base out, is because to wait for this to dry, since there is glue on the edge, you can't set it down, but you also can't expect that it's going to stand up on its own. So you got to get the stand and put it into the stand to dry. That's a key. That's a key. That's of key importance to this, because I mean, if this doesn't dry right, you've just screwed this up. So let me get the stand. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the Decimator stand. Just want to go ahead and connect this in like I normally would go. And there, this is a little hint at what it will look like when it's all done. Next, we're going to have to glue the Decimator. It's not done yet. This is getting exposed to the elements, so time is running out. I gotta hurry and do this before I dry up my bottle. Just put a little dab like that right on that dot, and like I said, it strings out. I don't know a good way to get rid of the string. Kind of a noob to this myself, but I can get this magnet, see if I can contain it. These are tiny suckers. I've been good about not getting it on my hands, but I think I'm gonna get it on my hands here. Nah, I'll use this paper. Booyah. Alright, sorry. I'm doing this myself, so I'm like pulling it away from camera. Trying to get it perfect. Okay. Don't want to move it too much. I'm just pushing mostly. But okay. So it's affixed on there like that. Now these are pretty strong magnets. So what I would do is suggest not connecting these for some time, because I mean, it's tempting, it's right there. I could easily just go, oh, I want to see what it looks like, and I want to, you know, connect it and blah blah blah. It will ruin everything you just did. And if you ruin everything you just did and pry off the magnets, try to reset them, all that stuff, it's not going to work as good. It is not going to work as good, because you have to get off all that glue. You could try to just glue over it. That's not going to work very well. You'd have to grind it down again and do all this stuff to get off the excess glue. It's still just, it's not going to be the same as you would have had to begin with. So you have to resist the temptation to put it together. I'm going to set this for a ridiculous amount of hours, probably like 9 hours, and come back. I'll go to work and come back tonight and put it together. And we'll see if it works. But I think all in all, we're pretty good. I'm gonna push on that, see it's good. Yeah, the stand is good and this is set. So I feel pretty good about this. I'm gonna go ahead and record later tonight when this is all done. Alright, so it's actually been 10 hours now. Waited a little longer. I'm still a little nervous about applying them. A co-worker was saying that if I didn't have to attach them, I should probably wait a few days, and yeah, I might go ahead and pass along that suggestion as well to anyone that would like to try this. Perhaps, wait extra time. I looked up online and they said it can take anywhere from, for this type of glue, depending on the brand and the type and how much you use, it can take from 6.5 hours to like a few days. I just used a drop basically on each one, so I'm hoping 10 hours was enough. Yeah, it's been 10 hours. So anyway, I'm gonna see if the magnets worked, and this is what they look like on. This is how they look on the models. right now. This one is pretty flush. The little gray bit you're seeing there is just part of the ship. I couldn't see any traces of the glue on the Decimator, so the Decimator looks great. And it looks really smooth as a ship. The only thing sticking down is the turret on the bottom. So I mean, the ship looks amazing, as usual. And a little bit of metal almost kind of adds to the ship. And then with the peg, also very nice. There's a little bit of glue on the side, but that doesn't really matter. The aesthetics of the peg don't really matter. The peg doesn't look good. So, and upon noticing, checking to see if the glue was dry, I noticed that the peg is actually cracked anyway, right in here. So I'm gonna have to redo that, but that's all the more reason to buy extra magnets, because these pegs are flimsy and they break. So actually I may have to be redoing this, but all in all it worked. I don't think I'm actually gonna stick the magnet on there, because I'm very happy with how it worked out on the Decimator, and I don't particularly want it to get ripped off. So, but yeah, job well done. Looks like it worked. And if you have any questions or any other tutorials you want me to put up, go ahead and comment what you want in the comment section or on the Facebook page, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.